So my name is Maryanne.
I'm Marisol.
I'm Jade.
And we're going to be talking about a short story, Gravity. So since we're three, we actually divided the characters in three different kind of categories. So I chose Angela and Stacy, the sisters.
I chose to talk about their parents and other parents that figure in the story.
And I will be talking about other side characters that are mentioned throughout the short story.
Alright, so I'm going to be starting with the linguistic traits that I found on Angela and Stacy. So during a conversation with her sister, Stacy mentions the words Jade and Bube, which actually mean grandmother and grandfather in Yiddish. Yiddish is a language coming from German, mixed with Hebrew and Slavic, that has been used by the Jewish community since the Middle Ages. So we kind of can get from that conversation that they do come from a Jewish family. For the cultural characteristics, we can say that they come from the province of Montreal based on the places that they hang out at and the places that they visited. So they shop at Le Château, which is a shop in Quebec. They also visited Hydro-Quebec's powerhouse Manic 5, which is in Quebec. And they hung out on the roof of an abandoned theater on Park Avenue, which is a street in Montreal. We can also say that they're Jewish because their cousin's marriage is a Jewish one. We can say so based on the fact that they have a Klemser band, which comes from a musical tradition amongst the Jewish community and is also associated with Yiddish.
So first of all, for the parents, I chose to talk more about cultural aspects than the linguistic, but we could talk about both or only one, so I choose more cultural. So at first, you see there's a little bit of judgment towards the kid. Like the mom, she judged a little bit why Henry would want Angela, a little bit. And then probably they judge a lot because, Angela is going to pass a pregnancy test and she doesn't tell her parents, maybe because she fear that they're gonna get mad. After the Camille's mom, Camille gets pregnant while hooking up with a random guy, and she says that she would her mom would not be mad if she would be pregnant, but she would more do a show about feminists with herbs, incense, and hang symbols. And hang symbols is more religion traits. It's from ancient Egypt. It's the key of life. It's cross of life. It's like a symbol that represents the moral existence of the afterlife. And then the dad talks about the conflicts, about the roads, because they're going in the States, and he talks about kind of about the issues of our roads, because theirs are kind of better, they're more soft, things like that. So that's it.
Yeah. So I selected a few characters. So first of all, Camille. Camille is Stacy's best friend. To begin with, Camille is a very francophone name. So you can see with that the bilingual culture of Montreal, because you can see both friends Stacy and Camille being from two linguistic categories being still friends. And Camille also gets pregnant, as Marisol said. She gets pregnant in front of Orange Juliette, which is an iconic location in Montreal. It's the big orange you can see from the roads going in and out of Montreal. So it's really an iconic place to talk about. She also mentions the Morgenthaler Clinic on Berry Street. So it's where she gets an abortion. So this is also a link with the town of Montreal. After that, Jill and Harris's wedding. Jill is Angela and Stacy's cousin. You can see that their wedding is a Jewish wedding because of certain key elements in the wedding. First of all, the song Hava Nagila is sang. So it's a very traditional Jewish song that is sang during some Jewish celebrations, and as well, Stacy says that she can hear the chairs being hoisted in the air. So that's a reference to the Hora, which is a Jewish tradition in weddings where the bride and the groom will be lifted in the air on their chairs. So that references their Jewish tradition and culture. And also, Jill references a Canadian model. Her name is Linda Evangelista, and she's like a Canadian icon of fashion. She says that she might be a lesbian because she's so fascinated by her. So this is like a
Personality trait?
no.
No?
I was gonna say that's a Canadian icon that is referenced to in the book.
Right.
Yeah. And they also during their wedding they play Bryan Adams songs. So this is like a kind of romantic songs for weddings that are from a Canadian artist, which can like go back to their Canadian side of the family, I guess. And that's pretty much it. So my last
No.
that's pretty much it for Jill and Harris. They also Angela at one point she talks about Hadassah arms. Actually, Hadassah arms is like the jiggly fat on your arm.
Oh, the light.
So yeah, it's kind of the jiggly fat on your arms. I actually looked for it online, and the first result that came out was a article written by Anna Leventhal, who is like the author of Sweet Affliction, and she was like explaining that term, that it was a reference to Zionist women, who is a community of Jewish people who are like who are for the Israel to become a all Jewish nation. So yeah, and the equivalent, the reason she was talking about it is because she was looking for an equivalent expression in French, and the equivalent would be like "grotte bingo." So you can see like it changes which culture it like associates with, because like Zionist woman was like a reference to Jewish culture, and grotte bingo is a very Quebec thing. So it had to change her characters all and change like some of their background. But she also said it's not like a common thing used, a common term used in like Jewish communities. It's like a father of a friend of hers, she heard say that once. Like it's not a very common thing, but it's still referencing something about the Jewish culture.
Okay. Adios.